I'll call to order the September, I almost said, what month is it? September Bloomington Board of Park Commissioners meeting. And Kim, if we could start with the roll call, please.
Yes, Kathleen Mills.
Here.
Israel Herrera.
He's giving the thumbs up.
Les Coyne. Ellen Rodke.
Here.
Okay, thank you. So let's see, maybe since everything's doubly awkward here virtually, maybe if we had a Parks Board member who wanted to be in charge of making motions and another for the second, and perhaps since Ellen's had some surgery recently, we should give her a break today. So Israel and Les, would you be willing to make motions and take care of seconds?
Israel, we're getting you taken care of. Give us just a moment.
Oh,
there you go.
So
there you go.
now we have we have voice. Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right, sure. Okay, so first we have our consent calendar, minutes, claims submitted, non-reverting budget amendments, the business report, and a little bit of surplus to get rid of. And thanks to Kim, we've had a chance to look at these since last Friday when we got our packets. So do we have a motion to approve the consent calendar? Whoops, I think Les is
Muted. Anyway, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Okay. And if Les can unmute.
Yeah, he should have that capability to do it himself.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think I got it. Yeah,
Okay.
I certainly second.
Okay, great. All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, motion carried. And next up, we come to our public hearings and appearances. And we have any, in section B2, do we have any public comments in this section for items that are not on the agenda, just general Parks Department comments?
Kathleen, we have Carol Canfield is
Okay.
attending, and she just put in the chat that she doesn't have mic or camera on her computer, so she'll put her comments here when
Okay,
it comes time for the public comment period. So Carol, if you want to go ahead and do that, and we'll keep an eye on that, and then Kathleen will read that into the public record.
I see her comment that she doesn't have mic or camera, and her comments are she's going to put them in the chat, or?
That's what she
Okay.
indicated, yes.
Okay,
So we'll
great.
look out for those, and I'll let you know as soon as they're there, and then you
Sure.
can read that into the
Okay,
record.
great. And then do we have any other public comment via email or Facebook?
There is no public comment on Facebook yet.
Okay,
And nothing in my email.
all right.
And I don't see any hands raised.
Okay, so we'll pause just a second here. Carol Canfield wanted to make a comment in the chat. Okay. Carol says, yes, I wanted to thank you for sending the survey draft for Lower Cascades for our north end of the city. We will review the survey and give our comments by Monday. Thank you again for letting us be part of this procedure. So that's from Carol Canfield. Okay. All right, great. And then we move along to the Parks Partner Award to Dick's Sporting Goods, and that's going to be Sarah Owen.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was waiting for permission to unmute. Hi, Sarah Owen, Community Relations Coordinator. As Kathleen mentioned, we are recognizing a Parks Partner recipient at the September meeting. That is Dick's Sporting Goods. The Parks Partner Award is a special one. We always like to have the chance to recognize some of our most generous supporters and collaborators with the department. And we wanted to recognize Dick's Sporting Goods. We are about to go into the Bloomington youth basketball season, a perennial favorite in the community. And Dick's has been a long-term supporter of our BYB program. Their support of our department extends back as far as 15 years. They have primarily supported youth sports programs, and this has included our Sport Shorties program, our T-Birds, T-ball and rookie baseball, and girls fast pitch softball, in addition to our BYB programming. So they have been very generous sponsors. We are incredibly grateful to them and their support for this these community programs, because those have served thousands of children over the past 15 years. And so we have created the Parks Partner plaque for them, which we will be giving to them as soon as we can. Actually, we have, I believe, a representative of Dick's Sporting Goods, Susan Myers, in the meeting with us today. She actually works up in Indianapolis and has been our contact for these sponsorships. So are we able to unmute Susan?
I see Susan. There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I just wanted to hop on. I'm really appreciative of this award. I wanted to thank Sarah too. We really enjoyed partnering with you guys I know I've been with the company over 8 years, and we just appreciate her commitment and dedication to the partnership, and just being able to continue to support youth sports in your community through all of the craziness, and we're looking forward to the next several years. So thank you for the award. We appreciate it.
Thank
Susan,
you.
it's been wonderful to work with.
Yeah, that list of programs was incredible. That is truly thousands of people in the community. So thank you very much, Susan and Dick's Sporting Goods.
Thank you so much.
And next up, we have a staff introduction, and it's Christian, I'm gonna say Tim, but I could be wrong, that Steve, I believe, might be telling us about. Or maybe not Steve, but I see Christian's name.
Yeah, I think Christian might be introducing himself. Christian.
Oh, okay, that's fine, sure. Okay, oh, there's Christian. Okay, hello, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, hi, it's nice to meet you all. So I'm in my first year in the MPA program at the O'Neill School. So I'm very excited to be here. But prior to working here and being a student, I was working at an environmental nonprofit that did environmental education in the Boston public school system. And I worked with primarily K through 5 grade children, doing a variety of topics, talking about the importance of cultivating a sense of environmentalism, and then also taking that information and then translating into action. And then prior to that work, I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Panama as a sustainable agriculture systems volunteer. So my projects were primarily doing agricultural development with fish and rice farmers, but I also did a variety of work doing gender advocacy and diversity. So wore many hats, but I'm very excited to take a lot of these skills and transfer them to the Parks and Rec job.
All right, well, welcome. What a wonderful variety of experience you've had. That's fantastic. Yeah, welcome to Parks.
Welcome, yeah. And knowing that Panama has too many parks in natural places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually lived near Santa Fe, so I was near a lot of that protected land. It's gorgeous there.
All right. Okay. Great. And then Next up, we have Paula is going to a presentation about Dave Williams, who's retiring. That is hard to believe that I am saying that, but it is happening. So yes, Paula, tell us about Dave.
Absolutely. Well, before I start, I'm going to ask Dave to unmute himself and to bring up his video. So hard to believe that we're recognizing Dave in this format because as you know, we do these in person, but here comes Dave. And there's the man of the hour, of the week. It's been a unbelievable week. And I think for all of us, this week just came far too quickly. Dave's been talking about his retirement for a while. And as you can imagine, there's been a lot of planning and just preparing for, I mean, how do you prepare for someone to leave a position after 27 years, and especially Dave and all that he brings to the department. So, so with a very heavy heart, I think we're all going through this week. So this is the first official, I would say, recognition of Dave in the formal meeting. And so we have a few surprises, but before I get there, I do want to give time to the board if you would like to share any words and congratulations to Dave, and then I'll go into my staff report and other surprises from there.
Okay. All right. Les, do you want to kick it off? You've probably on the board members, you've certainly known Dave the longest.
Well, I have. Dave, I won't be able to attend your party Friday. As much as I regret that, I'm still stuck out in the Southwest or the Northwest. But I put together a few flattering words that you certainly deserve, and I am just happy to deliver. And I wrote them down so I wouldn't screw it up, and I still may. Here we go. At a point in time, the planets will align, the cosmos will nod, and a person will come along at just the right time and place with the right skills, sets, experience, intellect, power, personality to be chosen to join an organization's leadership team, and will be shown to be instrumental in that organization's achieving remarkable outcomes. Bloomington and the Bloomington Parks Department 27 years ago had the good fortune and judgment to bring Dave Williams on board to play a key role in reaching just that end. Dave and his area were crucial to this department's reaching a level of excellence and recognition, national recognition, in fact, very few contemporaries would ever reach. Dave's high standards and leadership is reflected in every new physical development and enhancement in every park and facility in the Bloomington Park system. His ability to work with a wide array of stakeholders, from funding agencies, contractors, staff, community, has resulted in incredible results on the ground, culminating in his biggest challenge and never to seem to end, the success in construction with the Switchyard Park. Dave's other monumental part of his job has been the oversight of the operation and preservation of almost 3,000 acres of parkland and innumerable physical facilities therein. The affection this community holds for its park and the quality of life they enhance, and in no small measure, contributed to as a result of the effort and leadership of Dave. Bloomington has been a great beneficiary of 25 years of Dave Williams' service, good works, and talents, and he leaves an enviable legacy on the occasion of his retirement. He should be very, very proud. Dave will miss you greatly, and personally, I will miss you as a friend and powerful advisor. Best wishes, Dave.
Thank you, Les. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. I do have a short story I want to tell about the first time I met Dr. Coyne. Literally the first week I started in 1993, there was a park board meeting, and this was at the then known as the Older American Center. And as I recall it, the only item on the agenda was whether or not the department should entertain the closure of what was then the Riddle Point operation, which was a campground. And it became very apparent to me that the campground was kind of up for grabs. It was being used all summer long by not only out of city residents, but out of county residents. And I remember sitting in the audience that, Les, you were getting fairly demonstrative about the issue. I knew very clearly where you stood on the issue. And I thought, holy cow, this guy is going to get up on the table and lecture these people from Brown County that they have no skin in the game, so to speak. And I think Judge Talaferro was alongside you. But I thought, here's a guy I can work for. Here's a guy that passionately feels strongly about how the department should conduct its business and serve the residents of the city and Monroe County. But beyond that, there were cost issues. But I learned at that meeting that you were a dedicated player with parks, and your leadership has certainly helped guide this department for well over the time that I've spent with the department. So I salute you as well, Les, and I appreciate all the support that you've given me over the years. Very much appreciate it.
Dave, it's been my pleasure, and I haven't changed much. Recently devastated.
That's a great story.
I remember those days, Dave.
Well, I have not had the pleasure of knowing Dave as long as Les has, but I also just wrote up something short I'd like to share. I was thinking that when you're at retirement events, people always say about the person who's retiring, we can't imagine this place without you. But I think in parks, that is truly the case, that it's hard to imagine parks without Dave Williams. So from the tiniest detail on a trail project to the monumental task of shepherding Switchyard Park into existence, Dave has been invaluable to the Parks Department. Even when things weren't going well on a project, I would always admire how, when Dave was explaining something in a meeting, he would confidently and cool-headedly explain how the problems could be fixed. His expertise in all areas of operations, combined with constant insistence that things needed to be done right, have made Bloomington's parks a better place for everyone. As a Parks Board member, I always appreciated that Dave would provide the historical context on really every project, again, from the smallest kind of overhead power lines on a trail to the biggest, to Switchyard Park. As well, he knew the answer to nearly every question we ever asked. Half the time, I think he even anticipated the questions and the concerns, like the questions were forming in my head, but Dave had already anticipated them. So, Dave, you've been a foundational part of the Parks Department for nearly 3 decades, and I'm sure that you will be very much missed, but enjoy your well-deserved retirement. As Les said at the start of the meeting, now you can just go to Switchyard and walk around and enjoy it as a member of the community. So,
well, thank you very much, Kathleen. As Becky Barrick-Higgins knows, one of the occupational hazards that I've had my entire career, whether it was here or with state parks, is that I don't show up at public programs. I can't handle it. I'm looking around for something that hasn't been attended to or fixed, or, oh, there's a project down the road. So I'm very much looking forward to actually being a consumer of park programs and facilities in the future. But thank you very much, Kathleen.
yes, yeah. In Israel, would you like to?
No, I really want to thank you, Dave, for all the contributions to the city and to the department. I don't have, as Kathleen was saying, I don't have the honor to meet you for a long time as Les and Kathleen, but I would like to thank you for all your contributions, the advancement, and the great ideas that you have had in improving our city. And as my colleagues were saying, you will be missed, but you deserve this retirement. So now you can enjoy everything that you have done for the city.
Thank you, Israel. I appreciate that very much.
And Dave, I'm a little out of it today, so I'm not quite as with it. But you probably don't remember this, but I actually came to your office it's got to be like, must have been 2007, 2008, when I was a grad student in Parks and
Oh,
Recreation. And
yes.
I remember you telling me all about the Switchyard Park because I was doing a project on trails. And then we were talking about, and like that must have been not too long after the Beeline had opened, and just talking all about just every expansion, where it was, the whole dream. And it was just, I just remember thinking that, man, like Bloomington Parks is just something I want to be a part of. And now, after all these years, I've been able to serve in some other ways, and I'm sad that my time on the board is not going to overlap much of your career, but I know you'll always be cheering for us, and I hope you just enjoy your time. You've given so much, and you deserve the best. So congratulations.
Thank you, Ellen. And I do remember that. I needed a memory jog, but I do thankfully have many opportunities to talk to students. And it's rewarding. Well, it's great that you're on the board now and that you're still residing in Bloomington. And I, as an almost lifelong resident of the community, and I share this with my staff, if you ever have an opportunity to take on a profession where you can contribute something to where you live and it has long-lasting value, that's a home run. And I've been very fortunate in that regard. So thank you very much, Ellen.
All right. And Paula, I'm going to kick back over to you for a second. I think there's another.
Paula froze, so she had to get out and jump back in. I'll take advantage of this opportunity to read a couple of comments from Facebook. Julie Bennett says, congratulations, Dave. Hannah Budden says, congratulations, Dave. Darren Eads says, congrats, Dave Williams, well deserved, but you will be missed. And Jonathan Yiels says, congratulations, Dave. Appreciate all of the great work you've done for Bloomington, especially as we embark on the new master plan. Cheers.
Okay,
Thank
very
you.
nice. Have you started the office clean out, Dave?
I have. Anybody that's known what my office typically looks like, they say, yeah, you must have brought in a dumpster. So, but if you can look around, one of the things that I've never been adapted well to is going paperless. So my successor will have hard copies of everything, and good luck to him.
Whatever works. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, Paula's in the waiting room. Should we let her in? All right, there we go. Paula, are you back? There we go. Okay, she's nodding.
I'm back.
Okay.
What did I miss? Sorry. Goodness.
I wanted to turn it back over to you. I thought you have something else to share
I
about
do have
this.
something else to say. Sorry about that. Go figure. So yes, I just want to make a few brief comments before we proceed with the recognition. But before we get into the main event of today's recognition, I'd like to say a few words about Dave's career with the department and his contributions to the Bloomington community. As we've stated, Dave started as the Operations and Development Division Director on June 7th, 1993. And in this position, he is responsible for operations, natural resources, urban forestry, landscaping, and cemeteries. Dave, as we have all recognized and benefited from, has developed strong working relationships with all of the full-time staff and seasonal staff, and his commitment to the benefits of parks and recreation services, the preservation of green space, trails and parks, and the great outdoors have guided his work throughout the years. And just a brief nod to where this all started for Dave. He actually has his undergraduate degree in Parks and Recreation Administration. So early on, knew what he wanted to do, and later earned his master's degree, again, in Parks and Recreation with IU, and he currently is an adjunct professor at IU School of Public Health, teaching a facility management class, so definitely contributing to the next generation of park professionals, and those students are definitely learning a lot from Dave and all his expertise. Dave came to us from the Division of State Parks and Indiana Dunes State Park, so he's a state park guy, but we clearly benefited from him coming to Municipal Parks and Recreation. Through his work in parkland acquisitions and planning, project management from design to completion, and all of the challenges along the way. Dave also has been an incredible department representative to a variety of interdepartmental committees and presenting to numerous boards, and again, giving the history and the justification and answering all the questions, not only to city boards and commissions, but also all of the community meetings that Dave facilitated to discuss projects. Always open to hearing everyone's input and ideas. So one only has to look at either a trail or a playground or a park bench or a park and know that Dave has played an enormous role in making Bloomington Parks and Recreation the department it is today. Dave is the department's historian. In fact, his master's thesis was about Lower Cascades, his favorite park. And he has an incredible knowledge in historic preservation, which guided the renovation at Banneker Community Center. And I myself have learned so much from Dave over the past 27 years in the different positions that I've held. He's always been there to guide, suggest, and support not only me, but all of our staff. So in review, all of the projects that Dave has led, I think everyone can agree that his success in developing the Beeline Trail only meant that he was going to reach for an even higher ultimate project in the Switchyard Park. And he's been the guiding light from day one, from the master planning process to design to construction and opening. His expertise and dedication to this project is second to none. So on behalf of the department, Dave, we want to extend a warm, heartfelt thank you for 20 years of hard work, dedication, and friendship. You'll be missed as we go about our day to day, but we do look forward to seeing you on a trail or in your kayak or on a bench swing in Switchyard Park, just enjoying the good life and retirement. So with that, Dave, as I said, it's been a hard week for all of us here, but with that, we're going to share our screen now, because as you can imagine, there are many people who wanted to be part of your retirement celebration.
Kim, you'll need to share the sound here. We can't hear anything.
Hey, Dave. Hello, Dave. John Zant coming to you from the Purdue Room at 5555 Broadway Street. What a momentous occasion. We did some great work over the 15 plus years we've known each other. Thank you for allowing me to help bring the Beeline and Switchyard Park to life. Truly special places, truly special work. Stay in touch in your retirement. Let me know how those Purdue-IU rivalry games go. I'm pretty sure they're going to be lopsided. I'm not saying what teams favor, but I've got a hunch. Thanks, Dave. Good luck.
Hey Dave, it's hard to believe it's been almost 30 years of public service for you at the City of Bloomington. I know you spent many more years before that at the state working for the Department of Natural Resources. Your time to retire is well deserved and perfectly timed, I think. The consummate project that you were involved in and wouldn't have happened without you is now done and open and is going to be a magnificent asset to our community for 100 more years, and that's obviously Switchyard Park. But we're standing on the Beeline Trail, and I would be remiss if I didn't say how important your role is and has been in all of our trail system. We didn't have hardly any when you started almost 30 years ago, and now we have Clear Creek, Jackson Creek, and the Beeline, and many more to come. So your footprint is stamped on our community, and you should be proud of that, as I am of calling you a colleague and a friend. Thank you so much for your dedicated service to our city.
Hi, Dave. I just wanted to wish you a wonderful and relaxing, well-earned retirement. You will be very missed at Parks, and I will definitely miss having chats with you at the office. You always had great anecdotes about the development of our parks, and I always love learning that stuff from you. But I wish you all the best, and don't be a stranger.
Here I stand on the Clear Creek Trail, one of Dave's many legacies. And even early in the morning here, it's been very well used. Dave is one of those people that has worked behind the scenes for decades, worked hard, and not claimed any glory, not had his name blazoned across the paper, but yet is responsible for probably more of the high quality of life in Bloomington than anyone else I know. It's just Dave was an advocate for trails before trails were cool, and now Bloomington has a trail system because of, at least largely because of Dave's work, that we can all be proud of. Thank you, Dave, for all of your service to the community, and congratulations on a well-deserved retirement.
Thank you, Dave, for all of your years of service and dedication. Happy retirement.
Congratulations on retirement, Dave, from the Miller family.
We're good? All right. Happy retirement, Dave. Thanks for everything this last year. I've learned a lot from you. Promise me you won't change your phone number after you leave us, because I definitely will be reaching out. Take care, and I hope to see more of you on Lake Griffey.
Hey, Dave, I just want to say thank you for all that you've done for the department and your many years of service. I've really appreciated working with you and having you as a mentor, and wish you nothing but the best luck in the next adventure. Thanks again.
David, congratulations on your upcoming retirement. I think a lot of the people in Bloomington do not appreciate how hardworking you've been. For me personally, you've been a tremendous mentor and boss. Enjoyed all the years I've been working with you. I think we created a very good atmosphere here in Bloomington. Congratulations again. Enjoy the time off and good fishing.
One.
Hi, Davey. I want to send you off with a couple fine words. My first is that it astounds me when I think about how long I've worked with some people. It's just amazing to me, but the best thing I could say in that case is when somebody has taught me something, I think it's a real compliment. And my thoughts, particularly with Dave, is in the construction area, and two things come to mind. One is just the templates and the documents and the processes and all the connections of getting a project going. You've always been very helpful in providing that, and it's made my job so much easier and so much better. The second one I would say is just having those and knowing that you're going to have those difficult conversations in a project or a construction project, setting those expectations, because construction is just, as we know, is not all shaking hands and rosy and making friends. It's often in the asset management area. I found that you've always done a great job of setting the expectations, and people almost always exceed those expectations when you have those kind of conversations. There's two things that we'll never forget about you, but I'm not convinced they should be passed along, and I will demonstrate the first one. Index finger typing is not the generally accepted way to type documents, but your words per minute is off the charts. I don't know how you do it. You do a fantastic job with it. The second one, lowering those glasses and speaking over them and saying, with all due respect, and then saying what's ever on your mind, is just genius by you. I have tried it. I have failed every time I've done it, but I just find that an incredible skill. This is not a goodbye. I know whatever you do is going to be fantastic, and I'll always have the best intentions and the best wishes, and don't be a stranger, because when I call you, I'm going to need your help, and I'm going to want it from you, my friend.
Hey Dave, man, has it been an amazing ride the last 25 years. We've had a lot of fun, from Boston to Chicago to, gosh, Utah, I think. But in any event, my friend, it has been so much fun working with you and becoming friends. I value our friendship more than I can say. I hope that this next adventure of the next 25, I'll be able to hear all about it and all those great memories you're making with your grandkids. Take care.
Congratulations on your retirement. We're going to miss you, and I will miss celebrating my birthday with you every year.
Hi, Dave Williams. Word on the street is you're retiring. How did Paula ever approve this? Anyway, one of the best things about working 15 years at Parks and Rec was definitely the wonderful colleagues I worked hand in hand with. And you, my friend, were among the best at what you did and what you contributed to this community. I wish you a very happy retirement and enjoy everything life still has in store.
Hey, Dave. It's been a pleasure. Big shoes to fill. Mad respect for what you do. Good luck and enjoy your retirement.
Hey Dave, congratulations on your retirement. It's been a pleasure getting to know and work with you over the course of the past several years. I've really appreciated your leadership and your integrity, and it's going to feel really weird not talking to you on a daily basis or almost daily basis. But I just want to wish you well, and I hope you have more time for fishing and grandkids, and please keep in touch. I'll look forward to hearing from you.
Thanks for everything you've done over the years, Dave, especially Switchyard Park.
Happy retirement!
Congratulations, Dave, on your retirement. I wanted to pass along a few notes from myself and others at Rendell Ernstberger Associates for all the years that we've worked together and all the things that we've accomplished and you've allowed us to be a part of in your career. So after working with you for over 20 years, I can truly say that you are one of a kind. You've brought integrity, honesty, humor, and positive energy to each and every interaction that we've had with you, and I know that you've had with others. In my career, there have been a select few folks who have become more than clients, and I am proud to call you a friend. With your retirement, you've established a remarkable legacy of work.
We spent a lot of time in this video, and it's not running very well. So I'm going to have Kim stop sharing, and I'm going to start sharing to see if I can get a better connection. So stand by, everybody. It gets better, so stand by.
Dave, any reflection? Surprise?
Yes, but lot of great people that I had the unbelievable good fortune to work with. I mean, it's inside and outside of the department, just wonderful teammates on a lot of projects and a lot of endeavors. It's I would hope the folks that have started with our department, the younger folks, realize how important that is over a career, is relationships and working together to get a common goal achieved. And again, I couldn't be luckier in that regard. And John, I don't type that well without errors anyway. It may look like I'm speedy, but I'm not.
At what you did and what you contributed to this community. I wish you a very happy retirement and enjoy everything life still has in store.
Hey Dave, it's been a pleasure. Big shoes to fill. Mad respect for what you do. Good luck and enjoy your retirement.
Hey Dave, congratulations on your retirement. It's been a pleasure getting to know and work with you over the course of the past several years. I've really appreciated your leadership and your integrity, and it's going to feel really weird not talking to you on a daily basis or almost daily basis. But I just want to wish you well, and I hope you have more time for fishing and grandkids, and please keep in touch. I'll look forward to hearing from you.
Thanks for everything you've done over the years, Dave, especially Switchyard Park.
Happy retirement!
Congratulations, Dave, on your retirement. I wanted to pass along a few notes from myself and others at Rendell Ernstberger Associates for all the years that we've worked together and all the things that we've accomplished and you've allowed us to be a part of in your career. So after working with you for over 20 years, I can truly say that you are one of a kind. You've brought integrity, honesty, humor, and positive energy to each and every interaction that we've had with you, and I know that you've had with others. In my career, there have been a select few folks who have become more than clients, and I am proud to call you a friend. With your retirement, you've established a remarkable legacy of work, not only here in Bloomington, but inspiring other cities and communities around the state. And that work includes, the trails, streetscapes, parks, public spaces, and this legacy is left behind for countless citizens and future generations. And you've really transformed your hometown. Like the best athletes, I believe you're retiring at the peak, at your peak. You're stepping aside at a moment where you've just overseen the completion of what I consider one of your crowning achievements, Switchyard Park. And I know you've poured your blood, sweat, and tears into this park for nearly a decade, if not more. I'm hoping that as you visit the park, and in particular this water tower behind us, that you can look back on with pride on what you have accomplished. Enjoy this next chapter in your life, Dave, and best of luck to you and Kim. Take care.
Hey Dave, it's Sean. I just want you to know I have your cell phone, and anytime anything goes wrong at Switchyard Park, no matter what the time of day, I'm calling you. But honestly, I just want to know what a great, always been terrific at what you do, and Switchyard Park is a big testament to that. So I hope you have a great vacation. I hope you spend it fishing and playing with your grandkids. All right? Bye.
Hey Dave,
It's been a pleasure working with you. Hope to see you around. And take care of yourself.
Hey Dave, so what I hear a lot of people are doing is kind of telling stories about their kind of history, work history with you. I don't really have a story to tell, but I do want to thank you for giving me an opportunity, and appreciate everything you've taught me, and wish you luck in the future, and enjoy that retirement.
Hello, want to wish Dave Williams well wishes as he prepares to retire and relax a little bit. I've worked with Dave since around 2000. It's been a tremendously enjoyable experience to get to know Dave. He's always been a confidant as someone to work with, and he's always looking out to be fair, do an honest job for who he works for, and that's one thing I will truly miss. It's a rare trait among people these days, and Dave's always had it, and hopefully he'll have more time to enjoy the time with the grandkids, with his kids, and with Kim, as well as we keep waiting to see that kayak that he's going to fish out of. So hopefully we'll get some big fish stories coming up down the road. But Dave, take care. Really enjoyed the last 20 plus, and take care.
Hi, Dave. Well, in preparing what I was going to say for this surprise video, I thought about a couple things. And I could have taken the 27 years of your history with Bloomington Parks and Recreation and come up with a list of 27 tidbits about Dave and his career. But I'm confident in this journey of farewell into your retirement that you are hearing all kinds of stories and more than 27 memories and tidbits from everyone. So instead, I picked a word, after thinking about it, that best describes what you have meant to everyone that knows you and to all of us who have been so fortunate to work with you. And I'm going to start with a quote, and we'll see if you can pick out the word. This is a quote by Jackie Robinson, who said, "A life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives." The magic word there is impact, and I believe it illustrates everything that you have meant to the department, all of the projects that you have tackled, and we want you to know that you are leaving a lasting impact on all of us. So, looking at the word impact, let's start with I. I. You have never focused on the I. I never once heard you say, I did this or I made this change. Your work and role in the department was never about you, but about working together to make a difference in the lives of people in our community. The M stands for matters. You and your work and your contribution to the community matters. Look across the community at the trails, the parks, the playgrounds, the facilities, the roofs, you name it, natural areas. Your work has made a difference in this community, and it matters to all of us. P, peaceful retirement. You are so deserving, and I wish so many days full of fishing, hiking, and playing with your grandchildren in one of the many parks that you've built. A stands for accountable and agreeable. You have managed over the past 27 years amazing projects, prioritized significant changes, and somehow always worked out the funding. And you also held me and your peers and yourself accountable for every decision that you made. And if there was a compromise, because there were a few along the way, you always finished a conversation with being agreeable. C stands for change and challenges. Oh, the changes you've seen in the past 27 years, but we won't name them all. Once an abandoned railroad is now a trail in a new park. And where there's open space, there's now trees, native plantings, and trails. And challenges, and there have been a few, but they will live on in your memories and no doubt make you smile. And T is for team. And while you're leaving a hole and an empty space in the hearts of the Bloomington Parks and Recreation team, all we have to do is look around, walk down a trail, or visit Lower Cascades Park, or sit on a bench. And we'll smile at the memories and no doubt run into you and catch up on all the latest projects. So in conclusion, I do want to share a few of what I call Dave-isms that will live on with me personally forever as we see you off into retirement. One is, now hear me out. And countless meetings started with a justification or an idea where you would just say, now hear me out. And I was always happy to hear you out. The minutia. How many times did you get down into the weeds, into the minutia? And again, you would often phrase it with, now hear me out, let's talk about the minutia. And my most favorite, you'd sit down in my office for a meeting and say, I have a list, but you go ahead. I'm gonna miss those lists. Those lists definitely guided our work together. So in ending, I just want to say congratulations and all the best in your retirement, Dave. And as I close, I'll remember to take these files with me, which is a part of your system that I will never forget. Thank you and happy retirement, Dave.
Hey Dave, congratulations on your well-deserved retirement. It has been so much fun working with you over the past years that I will always remember to not sit across from you at a meeting because you make me laugh all the time. And I will also remember a lot of things that I learned from you regarding keeping things in perspective when it comes to work. And I appreciate all those lessons. And one last thing for you, in case you ever forget or need a laugh, here's a quarter.
Hi, Dave. Congratulations. It's been a great pleasure working with you over the past 20-something years. I've enjoyed talking about our shared history with the DNR and commiserating over ridiculous situations. But probably most of all, I will always remember how every year for the past 20 years, you have supported my Boy Scout by buying Scout popcorn. And that means more to me than every other single monument that you've built in Bloomington. Thank you again, Dave, and congratulations.
Hi, David. Congratulations on your retirement. We're all here to celebrate the wonderful accomplishments of your career, especially your last project, the Switchyard Park. I know you're looking forward to spending lots of time at home doing all the projects you have planned and spending time with our grandchildren. We all are very proud of you, love you.
Happy retirement, Poppy. Love you. Happy retirement, Poppy. We can't wait to spend more time with you. Love you, Poppy.
What a wonderful video. I love seeing all people coming in with their comments from all the different places that Dave had been a part of, the Beeline Trail and Switchyard and so many other locations. So thank you again, Dave. Very well-deserved retirement. Sounds like there's fishing in the future. I heard a theme of fishing.
There definitely is. Thank you. Thank you all. I appreciate it.
All right. Wow, it seems really anticlimactic to go on to other business from here. But but we have some important things that we need to take care of. And first up, because of COVID, a lot more people are seeking to run events that used to be held indoors, to run them outdoors in parks, facilities. And Jess Klein is going to tell us about an update to the what we're now calling the hourly permit application for user groups. Oh, whoops, we've got to unmute Jess here. Okay.
There we go. Hi, everyone. Tough act to follow. So thank you for having me again. It's good to see you all. As you said, for a little bit of background, we have had this fitness permit in place for years as a way to review applications from outside groups, people from the public that wish to hold, in the past, fitness classes in our parks. And in the last few months, we have received more and more interest from the public, from not only fitness studios and gyms, but now as well groups in music and art and things like that, and other cultural type smaller events that want to use our spaces outdoors. I think, like you said, now more than ever, people are turning outside and relying on the parks. And so the hourly permit that you have received is a reflection of an update made to that, so that we can better accommodate all the different types of applications we're receiving. And so this update is to get us through the rest of this calendar year so that we can accommodate those groups and better review them. And then in early 2021, we'll bring an even more revamped application to you for your review.
Okay, thank you, Jess. Any questions or comments from other board members? All right, do we have a motion to approve the hourly permit application for user groups?
I would say I second. I heard less moving, so I second. Is that correct?
I didn't hear Les, but.
I move in that case.
Okay, all right, thank you, Israel.
And I second.
Okay, thanks, Les. So any public comments or questions on this one? All right, I'm not seeing.
No comments in my email.
Okay. All right, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carried. Thank you, Jess.
Thank you.
And then Leslie Brinson, it's hard to believe we're going to talk about the holiday market, but it's getting colder and closer to the holiday market. So,
I know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kathleen. Leslie Brinson, the community events manager. I'm actually doing this one in for Crystal Ritter, our community events coordinator, who's out this week. But I am here to ask approval of the holiday market exhibitor agreement for the 2020 holiday market, which will be held on Saturday, November 28th from 9 to 1 here at the City Hall in the parking lot of the Showers Plaza building. This agreement is between the participating artist vendors and then the City of Bloomington Parks and Recreation Department, detailing the expectations and policies and prices for both parties. The holiday market is an annual event that takes place the Saturday following Thanksgiving. This year's holiday market is Saturday, again, November 28th from 9 to 1. We have had to make adjustments to this year's event due to crowd restrictions and COVID policies for the safety of both vendors, patrons, and staff. The event will feature only outdoor vendor booths, very limited entertainment, and those will be the only activities that take place. We'll intertwine farm vendors and art vendors in the outdoor setting, similar to what the farmers market has been running. That way we can limit crowd control, handle one-way traffic, but yet provide a good local shopping experiences for the holidays. So any changes in the contract are based around those changes to the event. No pricing changes to this year. Contract, everything has to do with the changing of the outdoor only option. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, always happy to see and always been impressed. I've been saying this for 6 months now, but when you guys are able to pivot and still hold an event, in a reasonably good fashion, despite all the restrictions. So
Yeah, this
Yeah.
one's a hard one, just as the market has been. It's such a popular event, but when you're talking 10 or 12,000 people that might come through one day, you really just got to downsize and figure out what's the best for all those involved.
Okay, yeah, great. Any questions or comments from board members? No? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve this agreement?
I will move for approval.
Second.
All right. And any public comments or questions?
None in my email.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. All right. And then Leslie is also going to tell us about an addendum to the farmers market vendor contract.
Yes, this is going to be the third addendum that we have actually brought to you this year based on the farm vendor and food and beverage artisans contract. This one we have just extended through the end of the season, through the end of November, since we don't anticipate any changes from a health, Monroe County Health Department or restriction, community-wide restrictions at this point. So the farm vendor addendum takes out the pricing change. They are now back to paying what they would pay in their normal contract year. But the food and beverage artisans and food truck or push cart artisans are still paying an adjusted fee. It also allows for flexibility in who is working their stand, so that if there is a health concern, they can provide somebody else in their stand. And then allows for removal of the point system for farm vendors, so that there is no pressure to attend if you don't feel safe or necessary or interested in that at this time. So those were the three adjustments to this addendum. Really, it's just a date change. Most of the things are staying the same, but we're going to carry this one through November. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
All right, great. Any questions from board members? No? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve this addendum?
I so move.
Second.
All right. And any public comments on this item?
None in my email.
Okay. All right. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion is carried. Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you.
And now Eric Pearson will tell us about flooring project at Banneker.
Hi there, Eric Pearson, Program Facility Coordinator at the Banneker Center. Staff are recommending the approval of a contract with Monster Coat to replace the rock carpet on the main level at Banneker with a commercial grade epoxy. The main level entry hallway has had rock carpet for many years, and it is aging and in need of some refurbishment. We've received some donations here in 2020 that have allowed us to bump this project up to the near term. And so we're excited to move forward with Monster Coat and replace this here shortly upon your approval. This will kind of go from the entrance from the gym to the restroom and the nearby activity room along the way. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Well, my only question really, Eric, is going to sound really dumb, but I have no idea what rock carpet is.
Yeah, it's it's like pea gravel that's kind of glued and it has a sealant over it. And so that's kind of, it's an older style, and it's one that is certainly aged with the high traffic areas. So hopefully the epoxy will be a cleaner look and will last a good long time as well.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you. Any questions from board members? All right. So we have a motion to approve this one.
Move for approval.
Second.
All right. And any public comments or questions?
None in my email.
realize, I mean, people can, I don't want to rush. I know people can comment on Facebook as well, but if I assume you'll let us know if you see
We'll let you
anything
know.
there. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so all those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carried. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
And next, it is pumpkin launch season. Bill Ream's going to tell us about that. Is Bill possibly muted or?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go, Bill.
Okay, it didn't like my button. So Bill Rain, Community Events Coordinator. I'm here to recommend the approval of a contract for services with the Monroe County Fair Association, who manage the Monroe County Fairgrounds. And we will be renting facilities and grounds, including the community building, the accompanying parking lot, and the west grass parking lot at the fairgrounds for the Bloomington Pumpkin Launch event on October 24th. This event has been held at the Monroe County Fairgrounds for the past 8 years. This is the second year for a city contract with the fairground and the association, with the rental of the previous years being done as a partnership agreement. The event challenges teams to build a pumpkin launcher with the goal to throw a pumpkin as far as possible. There are 3 categories for launcher teams: youth, student, and adult. Each category of team only competes against others in the same category, and there will also be an accuracy competition in which all teams compete against each other. This year, there will be COVID-19 safety measure in place. That will include the elimination of the several hands-on activities that we normally have. And we are adding what I'm calling social circles painted on the grass for people to sit on or stand in. And these are similar to what we do at the movies and concerts. And of course, we'll be limiting the attendance at any one time to the number allowed by the county health department. And currently at 150, and I suspect it will be that as well. And we might, we're currently looking at maybe possibly running a couple different entry times to increase the number of people that can see the event. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, any questions from other board members? Okay, no? All right, I promise one of these years we should put together a Parks Board members team and build a trebuchet and get out there and launch the pumpkin. No, Les doesn't look enthused about that. All right, do we have a motion to approve this one?
So moved.
All right.
I second.
Okay, and any public comments or questions?
None from me.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, motion carried. Great, thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
And next up, John Turnbull will tell us about fee waiver for the Parks Foundation golf outing.
Thank you, Kathleen. I'm coming to you live from my laboratory down City Hall. This is an annual request to waive the cart fees and the green fees for the Parks Foundation golf outing. As all of you know, Parks Foundation is very good to us in terms of taking donations from the public and raising funds for the Parks Department and the scholarship funds in particular. This year's event, I don't know if you can see it very well, but here's a flyer. It's downscaled. They wanted it to kind of downscale it because of all the weirdness going on, but it will be the 28th annual on October 7th. CFC is a title sponsor, IU Credit Union, the driving range sponsor, and lunch sponsor, Les Coyne, Debbie Lemon, Valerie Pena. So we're asking for you to waive the fees for this event on Wednesday, October 7th.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from board members? No? Okay. All right. Do we have a motion to approve? I think Les just moved to approve. Maybe.
That the case, I second, or I don't know if that's.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Did
Yeah,
you move?
yeah.
You did. Okay. I thought you were. Okay.
Yeah.
And Israel seconded. So any public comments?
None in my email.
Okay. All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. All right. And then John is also going to tell us about a little enhancement to the pickleball court now that pickleball continues to be booming in business.
Yes, thank you. At Switchyard Park, there are 4 pickleball courts, and from north to south, they back up to each other. So just a little enhancement, a little miss so that balls don't encroach on the other courts. A separation fence is generally recommended, and this is our request to do that. Thankfully, most of the funding is coming out of the TIF fund from the Switchyard Park, but we did solicit several quotes. The fencing business, as you may guess, like a lot of others, are very busy. We did get 2 quotes, so we were happy with that, and several others said they just can't take on the project. Sunset Hill fence was the lowest at $1,565. It's only a 4-foot high fence, chain link with a separation so you can go in between. So it's not a hard project. We've done work with them. They do very good work. So we're asking for your approval to go forward with this contract.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Any questions from board members? All right. Nope. Do we have a motion to approve this fencing contract?
Move for approval.
Second.
All right. And any public comments or questions?
Not in my email.
Right. Sorry, I've got some background noise because there are people in Bryan Park having a good time. So, all right. All right. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Did we get a vote there? Sorry. Yeah. Okay. All right. Motion approved. And yeah, those are John's. Good. John's all good. Thumbs up. All right. And then Mark is going to tell us about the annual partnership agreement with Bloomington Soccer LLC.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Hello, Mark Sterner, General Manager of the Twin Lakes Recreation Center. Today, I am seeking approval of our partnership agreement. That's been a longstanding partnership agreement with Bloomington Soccer. Upon purchasing the building in 2009, we did not have a member of management that carried any expertise associated with soccer. A member of the previous ownership was operating the program at that time. The gentleman's name was Chris Doran. We chose to keep Chris on a partnership agreement standpoint where he would operate the program. This is the 12th year of this agreement with Bloomington Soccer and Bloomington Parks and Recreation. It just so happened that in 2018, Chris Doran had aspirations for other things and sold the program and the business off to David Prawl. We've been operating under a partnership with David since that 2018. The role of this partnership is to provide a quality soccer program involving youth instruction and leagues for youth and adults for people of the community. Bloomington Soccer purchases roughly 80% of our prime time period of turf, spanning from October through March. The primary business end of this agreement is that we provide priority in terms of scheduling to Mr. Prawl. And there's also a price reduction. Our typical price at this time of the year, which is a prime time portion of the year, which goes October through March, is $100 per hour and the agreement stipulates a $65 per hour rate for Mr. Prawl based upon volume. I do recommend approval of this agreement, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Oh, sorry, muted. Thank you, Mark. And yes, long-standing agreement that we've had for the soccer rental. Any questions from board members? Okay, all right. Do we have a motion to approve this one?
Move for approval.
All right.
Second.
Okay, and any public comments or questions?
No public comment.
Okay. All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay, thank you, Mark, and we'll come back.
Thank you.
Yes, come back to John Turnbull with the hope that next summer we will be able to have Bryan Park and Mills Park Pool open. This is Bryan Park Pool fiberglass repair.
Indeed, Kathleen, we would agree with that. The bottom of the pool at Bryan is fiberglass, and there are some cracks in that fiberglass. In the process of showing people and asking for quotes to fix some of those cracks, it became abundantly clear to us that over the years, the chlorine and the UV rays have eroded some of that delaminate and coating of that fiberglass. So since the pool is not being used, and we thought it was a great opportunity to refurbish that fiberglass. And so we got a quote from the industry leader, which is Ardsley Group, who did the original install back when we redid these pools in 2002. To be very honest, the controller's office was not real happy with the first go around because we couldn't get anyone else to quote it. They are the leader in this. They've got a fantastic reputation. And any other quote is really, they would be a sub of that group that would quote it. So for example, Spear Corporation, Bud & Baum, they simply said, we would hire them and mark it up. So you're kind of, and we like this group. I also got some backing from Schmidt Associates, which are pool engineers, and they said this is a fair price at $18,681 and some change through the general obligation bond. It should make the bottom of this pool brand new looking and good to go for another 20 plus years.
Okay, all right. I mean, all things considered, it seems like a very fair price for something that's going to potentially last 20 years, as you say, with the chlorine and the sun. So, any comments or questions from board members?
Pay $1,000 easily a year for that kind of insurance.
All right. Yes. All right. I don't see any other comments or questions. So do we have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Second.
Okay. And any public comments or questions?
No comments.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All right. Motion's carried. Thank you, John. All right, good. And then Steve Cotter will step in here and tell us about the service agreement, lighting heart production for Nature Day.
Hello, thank you. Am I unmuted?
Yes, you're good.
Good to go.
Thank you very much. I am presenting today for Rebecca. She's not able to attend today's meeting. We have been working on Leonard Springs Nature Day since 2007. It was originally started with the help of Monroe County School Corporation and Sycamore Land Trust. It's an environmental education opportunity for local sixth graders. We have since expanded to Griffey for fourth graders each year. All of the enrolled students from the Monroe County School Corporation in 4th and 6th grades have been taking part in these programs. This year is a little bit different with COVID. So we are working to provide some videos to these students to teach them about nature and to encourage them to get outside in their yards and neighborhoods to learn some of the basics of the ecosystems around here. So with that in mind, we're recommending the approval of a contract with Lightning Heart Productions, LLC, to do video filming, editing, producing, and audio services for a total not to exceed $1,250 so that we can get some of these kids outside during these challenging times. The e-lessons will be created in lieu of the in-person trips, and the students will get Nature Day activity kits and student journals that will be sent home prior to them participating in the virtual Nature Day. And we really hope that the kids will get a lot out of it and will enjoy it. And we're looking very forward to working with Lightning Heart Productions. The few interactions that we've had with them have been very positive. The owner is actually a former employee of information technology here at the city, so he knows our operation, and he's very eager to get going with us. So I'd be happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Okay. I love the idea of just, again, kind of adjusting to this bizarre situation, having kids look in their backyards for what kind of nature might be out there. So good. Any board member questions or comments? Unless I see some heads shaking no. Okay. All right. Do we have a motion to approve this agreement with Lighting Heart Production for videos?
Joe Israel.
Motion to approve the agreement.
All right.
Second.
And yeah, I think we have a motion and a second. And do we have any public comments or questions?
No comments or questions.
Okay. So all those in favor, please say aye.
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 All right. Motion is carried. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
And then some ongoing masonry repair work. Barb Dunbar is going to tell us about that.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I would like to, I'm here today to recommend the approval of a mid-service contract for 3 separate projects that we would like to have Baker Stonework do for us. The funding sources for these will be for the first one, the Rose Hill Cemetery, that will be from the cemetery general fund budget. And oh yeah, I forgot I had some photos here just to kind of show you some of the damages we're talking about, having them repair. The other two, the Waldron Hill Buskirk Park perimeter wall around the fountain and the landscape bed. So, okay, so there's a picture of that. You can see how the top caps have just been knocked off. And those are all going to need to be put back in place. And then the third one, Kim, I guess, or Julie, whomever's doing this, the landscape bed at right there by the Sahara Mart, South Walnut Street landscape bed was damaged. So those are the 3 projects. A little bit of background on the Rose Hill Cemetery. So basically, in an effort to maintain the structural integrity of the interior and perimeter walls, we have been very consistently successful in securing annual funds for wall repairs and improvements. It is our intention to continue making these necessary annual contractual tuck point repairs, as well as stone masonry and stone cap repairs to the walls and columns as budgeted funds allow us. These ongoing repairs are crucial for the preservation of the wall and its future existence, allowing it to remain as a viable piece of history in the Bloomington community. Regarding the second project, the Waldron Hill Buskirk Park, as I said, damage has simply occurred to the fountain's perimeter wall and railing, which is knocked a portion of the wall and stone caps out of place. This damage we believe to be from vandalism. We don't know how else it could have possibly occurred. So I don't really have anything much more to say other than that on that one. Just needs to be repaired and fixed. South Walnut Street raised landscape bed. Damage has occurred at the north end of the bed's wall where wall pieces and stone caps are knocked out of place. And this damage occurred when a vehicle ran into the structure in late July, I believe. So we're just trying to put all these on one contract, 3 separate projects, one contract to get Baker Stonework out there to get them all repaired. Anybody have questions?
Yeah, thank you, Barb, for going through. I was wondering about the causes of some of those and whether it was vandalism, and I certainly didn't know a car had hit one. That's disturbing. So
yeah, and unfortunately, we don't get any. There's no insurance. We're not getting any compensation on that one. So
right. Okay. Yeah, I know we personally at my house have dealt with Baker Stonework a couple of times, and the work was just fabulous. So
good.
Yeah,
yes, I think we've used them in other places too.
Any board member questions or comments?
No.
Okay. We have a motion to approve.
Israel?
I move.
Second.
All right. And any public comments or questions?
No public comment or questions.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Motion is carried. Thank you, Barb.
Thank you.
All right. And we'll go back over to Steve to talk about the security arrangement for the Griffey Lake Community Hunting Access Program coming up later into the fall.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this contract approval request is for security services during the upcoming Community Hunting Access Program at Griffey to manage the deer population there. In 2008, the Griffey Lake Master Plan recommended that we do some studies to determine if deer are having a negative impact on the ecosystem at Griffey. The adjacent IU Research and Teaching Preserve property was the site of some research by Dr. Angie Shelton, showing that there was severe impact from deer. And in 2012, the City of Bloomington, Monroe County Joint Deer Task Force put out some recommendations to control deer at Griffey Lake Nature Preserve. And so we have been making efforts to control the deer population out there since 2014. And we had a successful chap hunt last year. And the security was provided by Bruce Wilds last year. Everything went well and smoothly. Basically, the security team does trips around the nature preserve, informing people that there is a hunt going on for 3 weekends in November this year. The hunts will take place on November 14th and 15th, November 21st and 22nd, and November 28th and 29th. The amount of this contract is not to exceed $4,752. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. All right. And thank you for that background, especially for anyone watching who's not familiar with the hunt out there or for newer board members. So any questions or comments from board members? Seeing no. Okay. All right. Do we have a motion to approve?
I move.
Okay. In a second? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And any public comments or questions?
None. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion is carried. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you very much.
And then ongoing tree pruning, always, as always, Erin Hatch is going to tell us about that.
Hi. So I am presenting a contract for some small tree pruning with Rick Patrick Tree Care. This is predominantly in the north and northwest section of the city. And this is on a little under 100 trees that are located within the public right-of-way. This is just regular upkeep activity in addition to pruning by our own in-house crews, just to kind of supplement that pruning. And this will be for a total of $8,400 for all of those trees that were listed within the contract.
Okay. Yeah, and Aaron, I appreciate the detailed list of exactly where all those trees are. So very good. Any questions or comments from board members?
So once again, what is the location?
They're kind of spread throughout, but most of these are centered in the north and northwest north and northeast of the city. But they're at various locations. They're not clustered on one specific street or clustered in one little area. They're kind of throughout a larger section, the north and northeast. And in the contract, there are specific addresses and trees that are listed.
And then you're saying that there are about 100 trees?
It's a little under 100. I believe it's 98.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve?
Israel. I move for approval.
Okay. And do we have a second?
I second.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Sorry, I got distracted for a second by Aaron's cat, and then I wasn't sure if we'd had the second.
Sorry.
No, you're good. It's a second cat appearance today. So, all right. All those. Oh, do we have any public comments or questions?
No public comments or questions.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion carried. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
And the last item under section C, then Mark will tell us about the service agreement with Roof Max for shingle rejuvenation, selected facilities.
Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Mark Maratz, Operations Superintendent. I'm here to seek approval for the contract for Roof Max of Bloomington. They are sole vetted vendor with the city now. We got a couple locations, our Olcott Park, Howard Young Shelter, and our Bryan Park Maintenance Garage that we've been looking at replacing the shingles there the last couple of years. But we can rejuvenate them. The shingles have become brittle, losing a lot of the granules in there. And with each application that Roof Max can put on, it will give another 5 years of life for those shingles. It is a green product, the soy base that farmers make. So it goes along with our sustainable efforts and is quite a bit cheaper than what it would cost to replace the roofs at those two locations.
Okay. I have to confess, I had no idea that was even a thing. That sounds very creative. Yeah.
I learned about it about 3-4 months ago.
Yeah. That's clever. And it's green as well. That sounds perfect. So any questions or comments from board members?
Yeah, I do. What's the track record on it, Mark? Do you have any testimonials or 5-star ratings? Or
I've seen 5-star ratings. Yes, they're new to this area. They bought this territory back in, I want to say, June. There is another one that they own a territory up in Greenwood. So I've seen some videos and some pictures of some stuff they've done up there. But I've heard good feedback on it. There's a lot of videos you can pull up to get some feedback and some background on the product. It is growing. It is becoming more popular. And that's what their hopes are for this area, is that once we get started with this, then I know they've done an area over in Spencer. They did a roof there. They've had other couple of roofs in the Bloomington area. And it seems the track record has been good from what I've read.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right, great. If you don't have any other questions, then we have a motion to approve.
I move to approve.
Second.
All right, and any public comments or questions? None?
Hey, Kathleen, can I say one more thing?
Yeah, sure, of course.
When they do the Howard Young Shelter at Olcott, they would like to invite everybody out and just kind of see what they're doing and how that all goes, and they can educate everybody on the process there also.
Okay, yeah, that's great. I would be interested to see that, yeah.
I'll send you guys an email once we have that location scheduled.
Okay. All right, let's see, and we have a motion to, I think we had a motion. So all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion carried. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
And I hope do we still have Dave Williams here? Or is he working on his file folders?
No, I texted him and I'm going to ask him to bring his video up again. And
okay.
Yep, there he is. He's recovered. Okay. We have something else, Dave.
Hello, Dave. This is a big day for you, and I'm really happy that I have been able to have the opportunity to work with you over all these years while you've been in your position at the Parks and Recreation Department. You and I have worked on several projects together. A couple that I will mention is the Beeline. I recall being just outside the building here on the stage with you as we unveiled the Beeline and had a ribbon cutting ceremony. And then most recently the Switchyard Park, where we had another ceremony there here about a year ago. Your knowledge and your wisdom and your people skills, but most of all, your friendship to me and thousands of others here in Bloomington, Indiana. We really appreciate you, Dave, for everything you've done. You have touched so many lives in and around Bloomington, Indiana. Many you will never meet, but because of you and what you have done, their lives will be better because of it. Thank you for what you've done here, and your influence will live on for generations to come. And I want to personally thank you. And again, I want to personally wish you the best of luck in the next endeavor of your life. Take care, buddy. Bye.
All right.
Please, no more. No more, please.
Until Friday.
Okay.
Lunch with Dave, 11:30.
Deal.
Switchyard
Deal.
Park.
Lunch
Deal.
with Dave,
Thank you all very much.
All right, a nice farewell there from the Parks Foundation. All right, so then again, we just have a few items under the reports section. The 2019 annual report, Julie Ramey.
Greetings. You should have received by now a draft version of the annual report. I sent it to division directors as well, and John found a rather significant math error on my part. So I'm regrouping on Cascades Golf Course and doing some edits. I traded an email with Kathleen as well. And Kathleen, you and Les can decide perhaps together if you would like a message on behalf of the Board of Park Commissioners to come from Les, to come from you, or perhaps a joint message for the 2019 annual report. So as soon as we nail down those few details and I correct the math, then the annual report will be ready to go.
Okay. All right. Great. And boy, kudos to John for checking the math.
That's
John. John is not known for his proofing skills, so we're really pleased and thankful that he did it really carefully.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Julie. And I'll follow up email with you about the message in there from the board.
Thank you.
All right. And then continue to be fabulous things at Banneker, even in the midst of COVID. So Eric Pearson's going to update us on that.
Yeah, thank you. I think we have kind of a few slides that we can go through as well. But before I get going into that, I just wanted to say, as part of a group of younger staff members in the department that don't have nearly as much experience or wisdom as Dave, experiencing this today, that's what I think a lot of us are shooting for. So just want to extend my thanks again and appreciation. As we jump to a recap of our summer here at Banneker, obviously was not one that we anticipated many months ago, but I think we did the best we could to adapt. So on the second slide here is kind of a little overview of the summer food service program through the USDA that we have participated in for 17 years now. Throughout this program, participants receive a nutritious breakfast, lunch, and snack each day. Banneker is reimbursed for every meal that we serve. And due to COVID-19, obviously we had to go through many conversations and adjustments on our operation, and we determined that we were able to kind of serve the biggest need in the largest way by focusing on a meal delivery program. And so we're thankful that we work very closely with the USDA in the summer food service program in Indiana to have kind of an adjusted grant that would allow us to deliver these meals. It's not something that we've done before. And so thankfully they worked with us, and we were able to have a pretty successful program that I'll detail here on the next slide and beyond. So this summer ran June 1st through July 24th. It was free and featured weekly registration. Typically our normal summer camp is $2 a day or $10 a week. But we decided that with the changes, it would be free this year. Each participant received an activity packet that was curated by Banneker staff and some community partners as well. Those are outlined below. I was routinely amazed at just how awesome these packets were, and how the staff and community partners were so dedicated. And a special shout out to Natural Resources, their Nature Club staff did a fantastic job in that as well. We did have some unique donated supplies. So we were not able to work with our vendor on the meals for gluten-free or other food allergies. And so we were fortunate to work with Crumble Bakery, who donated some gluten-free snacks that we were able to include with the meal deliveries. And then the folks that work in the backyard garden here at Banneker throughout the neighborhood, they worked with us to deliver some fresh produce from that garden to the families. And you can see kind of a picture of that there to the right. I'd also like to mention a unique partnership with Boys and Girls Club this summer. We presented that to you a few months back, but they were able to utilize our third floor space as they received donated food and supplies. And then they were able to have staff and volunteers deliver these meals to the public from our space as well. So it was really rewarding to have them in here working on a very similar project and supporting one another. On the next few slides, I have some data. Those of you that have been around a while know that I'm a baseball person, so I always like to have data that we can look at. So the total number of individual participants definitely increased this year to 224. A couple of reasons why we were able to take on preschool participants, which is not something we would normally do within our summer camp. And then we had kind of a wider reach, which we'll see a little bit of in a map later on. On the next slide, we go over total meals served, which is a huge jump from the previous years. So 10,288 is obviously a large number. One of the major differences here, typically when we serve our breakfast, we only have 50% of the participants each day that come here needing to have a breakfast. And so in this situation, all of our deliveries included a breakfast and a dinner that was delivered in the morning. And so all recipients received that. And so that was a huge difference, but obviously when we're able to serve that many meals, it's pretty rewarding. On the next slide, it kind of details the meal reimbursement. So A little bit more information here. Obviously, more meals served equals a higher reimbursement. The reimbursement rate fluctuates a little bit from year to year, and this year it was $2.33 for every breakfast, and just around $4 for every lunch or dinner. So when we work with Chef for Hire out of Indianapolis, and we purchase the meals there, that's kind of the reimbursement rate that we receive from USDA on those meals. So I believe every meal that we received from Chef for Hire was $3.30. So obviously there's a little bit of change there, but having this reimbursement and this grant is what allows us to do so many deliveries with the meals. So that's a really high number, and we're definitely proud of that. On the next slide is our payroll costs. So as you can see, the last few years we had some significant investment from the department and the budget in this program, and it definitely paid dividends in a lot of the successes that we had. With the change in program this year, we had a much smaller staff. Typically, day to day, we had 5 to 6 employees that were coming in, packaging the meals, creating and packaging the activity packets. We had a couple of staff that would focus on the delivery routes and where we were headed. We had 3 routes that we focused on geographically that we broke down. And so, like I said, typically we would have 10 to 12 staff members per day. So with the change in programming, we had a natural decrease in payroll costs. On the next slide is probably the one I enjoy the most from my seat. We always do a participant map with ITS where our participants are coming from. And it's a very important indicator to us to see where people are at, what gaps may exist, and to be able to use this program, since it does have such a large footprint, to hopefully analyze some areas to grow in others. From 19 to 20, 19 being on the left and 20 in the middle, there's a couple of stylistic differences, but I think we continue to see a trend on the northeast side, but the east side sort of in general. I think that those are something, as we've done these the last few years, we have continued to reach that area, but I think it's something that is worth exploring further, and I'm interested to see what future years tell us in recruitment efforts. I know that on the far right image is where the housing choice voucher or Section 8 complexes are throughout Bloomington. So you can kind of tell that we do have a lot of those areas represented in our map from participants. There are more needy families on the east side that we will continue to try to reach. And I think that's something that obviously our geographic location plays a role in that, but this program in particular is designed to serve all low-income families and families who might need these services. And so definitely a unique circumstance this summer, but we're hoping that we can continue to move east and address that moving forward. Just kind of a synopsis or a breakdown. One of the lessons that we learned this year with so many changes is that we can adapt. We can, in a short time frame, we can change our goal and our mission, and we can still fulfill an important need. And I'm definitely thankful for the group that worked on this full-time, but also our part-time staff that made it happen. 86% of participants qualified for free or reduced meals. That was something we were really interested in at the outset, not having an on-site program, having all online participants and having it be free, or online registration rather, to see that we were still at 86% or around there was really, really positive, especially because in the more anecdotal information we had so many new families that we hadn't worked with before. So that was pretty special. The participation map is not in process. It's here. And I think that's always going to be a good resource for us. And, we, like everybody else in other camps in town, we hope to return our normal operations in 2021, but we know we can adapt if need be. So that's an important thing right there. On the last slide, I just wanted to kind of publicly acknowledge our part-time staff that worked so hard on this. Just a really good group of dedicated people, a lot of whom are students at IU that found themselves in town over the summer, and just did a tremendous job at staying diligent with all the protocols. But it's clear that they really cared about what they were doing, and it showed in their day-to-day work. If time allows, I know we're way over, but there is a 40-second video. You guys can watch it on your own there at the end, that we took kind of a time lapse of a day of packing the meals and preparing them in our kitchen. But it was definitely a different summer, and we missed the kids greatly, but definitely proud of what we accomplished and who we did it with, for sure.
All right, thank you, Eric. That is just fantastic to see. I mean, the outreach across the different parts of the city and the number of meals served, and certainly needed more than ever this past summer. So really excellent. Yeah, any questions or comments from board members?
Congratulations to your crew and yourself for great work on a tough time.
Yeah, excellent job, Eric. Yeah, thank you for sharing this wonderful news and information.
And Ellen says thumbs up. So thank you for that, Eric.
Appreciate it.
And then finally, Dee Tuttle will tell us about opening plans for the ice rink. Frank Southern.
Hello all, Dee Tuttle, Frank Southern Ice Arena Manager. I would just like to take this opportunity to share with you our opening procedures for the ice arena. Believe it or not, it's coming up very quickly. We will open up to our users next week on October the 1st, which is Thursday. So I wanted to start with a little bit of the background. Last week, our facility preparation began. We started the 2 compressors last week, and with the starting of those compressors, we were waiting for the cement floor to reduce to a temperature that was below freezing. And once that happened, then we started flooding the ice. And by flooding the ice, the way that process works is we put hot water in the Zamboni and make very slow laps many times over until the ice gets to be about an inch thick. And then the painting process occurs, and that will happen tomorrow all day. And the ice will be painted white, and the lines will be put down. And then we will flood again and put some logos down and put the final touches on. The arena will initially open up to our user groups, such as Bloomington Figure Skating Club, the travel hockey, and house hockey will start the 3rd week of October. With the COVID, we have made several major modifications in the facility to our programs that I would like to share with you at this time. At the entry of the facility, there will be a staff member at all times to direct and make sure that all of our users know exactly what our process is and how they should proceed through the rink. The rink will be a one-way system, and all individuals are required to wear a mask as they come through the door, except for those who qualify as exempt. Once the hockey players and the figure skaters are on the ice pad, they can take off their mask for participation. During public session hours, those individuals will have to wear a mask while on the ice. Social distancing signs, stickers will be marked from the entry into the facility, into the lobby area, to the ice pad perimeter, into the seating area where the bleachers are, and to the exit out of the facility. So the one-way traffic will be from the entry into the lobby to the ice pad, and then back off the ice pad, and then to the exit door, which is the door that's in the northwest corner of the facility. Capacity will be 75 individuals on the ice during public skate time periods. And then we have yet to determine a number in the bleacher area, but they will be social distancing at 6 feet apart, and it will be marked as well. The lobby will be open 15 minutes prior to the start of each program. The lobby is basically going to serve as a holding area. Once the groups come into the lobby area, they will put their skates on and their helmet. All individuals will come mostly dressed and prepared for their time slot. There will be no locker rooms used, no showers used, and no restrooms in the back used. Once they exit the lobby, when it's their time to skate, the only reason that they will come back into the lobby area would be to use the restroom. The party room will not be available for rental until further notice. The party room doors will be used for spectator entrance during hockey games or when parents have to bring their children for skating school, etc. We will be cleaning and disinfecting frequently to all touched surfaces. And we have studied this, studied similar rinks in the Midwest. And I've also talked to many of our user groups, and they indicate that many ice arenas are following the same protocol.
Okay.
Questions?
Okay, great. Thank you for all those details. Dee, any
Yeah,
questions?
we're looking forward to actually being open and having kids participate. And I think everyone's very excited that we're going to open. We only have a couple of user groups that are not going to participate full force. The IU club hockey teams, they're going to skate occasionally, but they will not be playing any games until at least January the 1st. And then rec sports will, of course, determine what the progress or where they're at that point. And the IU figure skating club has chosen not to participate until the first of the year as well.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Any questions from board members or comments?
Just one for Dee.
Sure.
I expect that the ventilation in the rink will be more than adequate given the changes and improvements that have been made.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, today we were having the system serviced to make sure that everything was good to go. And there are, of course, it's set on a point at the beginning of the ice season to make sure that the ice hardens appropriately. And the airflow is definitely very good inside the rink area. So, our plan is to get folks in the door and into the arena area as quickly as possible.
Excellent.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a good plan. Thank you, Dee.
Thank you.
All right. And back over to Paula. Anything?
Yes, I just want to quickly thank Dee and her crew. I think that's just another example of the work that our staff have put in this year to respond to all the COVID precautions. Dee and John worked diligently and made the hard decision on the pools. And then she just applied that effort and same due diligence to the ice arena and has had this plan submitted to the health department as well. So I'm confident in their research and their justification and their due diligence, not only in preparing, but when they open, they will be on it sharp as tacks and watching that everything is being run as prescribed. So I just want to, again, another example of bending and flexing and responding to our new world playing out here. So thanks, Dee.
Thank you
very
Paula.
much. And that's it. I know we ran a little bit over, but it's not every meeting or every year that you have an employee retire after 27 years of service. So again, that's just the beginning. You're all invited to lunch with Dave this Friday at 11:30 at Switchyard Park out in the platform area with more surprises planned. But bring your own lunch, again, under COVID, and wear your masks. And we will be social distancing, but there was no way we were going to let him leave without some type of a send-off. So we're looking forward to that. And then my only other reminder is that our next park board meeting is October 20th. And thank you all for adjusting your schedules to a conflict that we had the later week. So you'll be hearing from us sooner rather than later, but we'll gather again. I have no doubt. Same format via Zoom. Unbelievably into October we go. But thank you. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And looking forward to taking these contracts and partnerships and moving into the fall season. Here we go.
All right. Thank you very much, Paula. So, all right. Thank
Ellen, good hanging in with this. Appreciate it. You're a trooper.
Thank you.
No problem.
So, and then I've seen people with the background where they're at the beach, but Israel looks like he's in a plane flying over the beach. I've never seen that before. Is that?
It's mesmerizing.
It is. It's soothing.
It's very relaxing.
Do it again.
to have the background in between courses.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Good idea. Nice. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We will see you back October 20th.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, stay safe.